Welcome back to Rehab Renegade. Today we're going to go over 3 exercises you can do to help relieve sciatica. I spend a lot of my time trying to convince people that it's more about what you don't do, but obviously there's got to be a point where we start incorporating exercise again. What you need to understand with sciatica is a lot of times this irritation is because of compression on the nerve itself, usually from a disc injury, a disc bulge, or a disc herniation. A lot of times what happens is as you bend over or you go into twisted positions, you actually cause a little bit of compression on that nerve. The compression alone isn't always the problem. It's usually the combination with inflammation. So we need to give that back some time to settle down and let it heal. But in the meantime, there's some exercises we can do to help take pressure off the disc. So just like a jelly donut, if you round forward and you compress on the front of the jelly donut, the jelly tends to move toward the back and sometimes out the back. Same thing, as you go into rounded positions at the back, you cause compression on the front of the spine, on the front of the disc, and that can cause a little bit of a bulge or herniation that presses on the nerve. So here are 3 exercises you can do to help take that compression off of the nerve. In the first exercise, we're just going to start off lying on our stomach. So what you'll do is you'll rest your forehead right on your forearms for 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll just try to relax the back muscles in the hip into the table, the bed, or the floor, whatever surface you're on. So just like this. As long as that feels okay, what I eventually want you to do is I want you to slowly progress into a more arched back position, but we still want the muscles to stay relaxed. So the next position you can try is fists together, resting your forehead on your fists. From here, the next position would be resting on your forearms. So you're here, same thing, 2 to 3 minutes, just trying to get the back muscles to relax, taking nice deep breaths. From here, right, you could start to work into other poses, things you might see in yoga, where you're propped up on your hands. Same thing, I'm just trying to be here and relax the back muscles. After that, a good transition, and a lot of times people can't do this right away, but eventually they can, is standing with their hands on their hips and just doing little backward bends throughout the day. That can be a great way to take some pressure off of the nerve. So the next exercise is cat-cow. So what you'll do is you'll come onto your hands and knees. Be cautious getting into this position. We still want to make sure we keep a nice neutral back. So from here, what you would do is you would gently go into a rounded position and then gently into an arched position. This is a great move because the back is not in a loaded, compressed position, so it's less likely that we're going to compress the disc and cause irritation. So when you're in this position, just very gentle, 8 to 10 reps. I'll demonstrate one more time. So from here, little round, little arch. You do not need to feel a big stretch with that. And the third and best exercise you can actually do is walking. So a lot of times people will initially say, well, walking causes me pain. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means you should walk up into a point where you don't have pain and then you rest. So let's say you go to a park, you take a nice walk. As you're starting to get close to feeling pain, I'd like to see you sit down, rest for a second. Maybe you try our bonus exercise I'm going to show you in a minute or two. And then from there, try to get walking again. When you're walking, you really need to find a pace that's best for you. Very slow walking can actually increase the stress on the spine. You might find that walking a little faster is helpful, but you also need to make sure you're in good position. You don't want to be rounded while you're walking. You want to feel like you're nice and tall. And a really important consideration is that when you're walking, you need to make sure you have a nice, good arm swing. As you're walking, try to feel like you're getting a nice swing from the shoulders with not a lot of elbow bend. If you really watch yourself on video or in a mirror or your reflection, you might find that as you're walking, you're doing a lot of swinging from the elbows. I just want you feeling like as you walk, you're getting a nice big swing from the shoulders and try to pick up the pace a little bit. Okay, so this would be a bonus exercise, and what we usually call it is a park bench decompression. So if you're familiar with traction, it's the same idea. What you're going to do is you're going to set your hips or your hands on something that's about belly button height. You're going to gently lean forward and you're going to press yourself up. So you'll notice that in this position, I'm actually bringing my shoulder blades down away from my ears. Once I'm here, I feel like a lot of the weight is through my hands, a little bit through my feet, and I'm doing the best I can to let my hips and my knees sag away. I almost feel like my pelvis is gently moving away from my spine. I'll try to stay here for about 30 seconds and I'll do that for 3 times. If for some reason that causes you pain, please discontinue. But even if you don't feel like it's doing a lot, that can be nice because it's a great way to take a little bit of compression off the discs and off the nerve.